your computer, and from this computer you are not able to access this particular file server on the network. So there may be some issue to check why that you are not able to access the file server from this computer as you are properly logged into this system. So whenever you want to troubleshoot the issue, proceed logically and specially methodically. Means you need to think of, or you can say have a clear idea, or you can say a clear understanding of the issue or the problem, and follow the stepwise method to resolve that issue. While resolving the issue, you need to follow the recommended steps. So we will see what are these steps, and also you need to use experience when necessary. So let's say you may be not that experienced while dealing with the network. So in your own organization, you may ask some other people who have experience in the field, in the IT field or in the network field, or maybe you may ask someone else. Look for some people who has this experience of the network, which may help you. So remember that never be shy of asking someone else for the help who has the adequate or relevant experience, because it will help you in solving or troubleshooting that problem. What are the benefits of logical approach? Prevents wasteful time consuming efforts, unnecessary software and hardware replacement. So that's the thing which relates to the logical issue. Okay, troubleshooting steps are there. As we say that follow recommended steps. So these are the steps now. Identify the symptoms, the problems. So you need to identify what exactly the issue is. Identify the affected area. Affected area in this example, let's say I'm not able to access the file server. Determine what has changed, any change that has been performed or configured in the network setup or at the Windows level or at the server level, whatever it is. Establish most probable cause. Determine if escalation necessary. Create action plan. You need to create your own action plan. And solution. Implement solution. Test result. Identify results and its effects. And then you need to, most important, document the solution as well as the process, so you may have the experience or knowledge of the past issue. So if that particular problem or issue raised against to someone or again raised to you, so you may aware that how it can be solved or rectified. First one, identify the symptoms and problems. The more you diagnose problem, the more you solve issue, is asking question. So you need to ask questions from the user or from the person who is experiencing that issue. So you need to ask, for example, when this problem raised, or for example, yesterday did you face such problem, or in past did you face some problem or not. So asking some different types of question which may help you in identify the problem. Answers help identify network problems symptoms. So be in conversation, you can say, and talk with that particular user or department who are experiencing the network issue. Avoid jumping to conclusion about symptoms. Never jump to conclusion, because troubleshooting problem is a systematic and step-by-step method. If you follow that systematic and step-by-step procedure, then you will be able to successfully diagnose the problem. And another thing that is very important is pay attention to which thing: users, system and network behaviors, and error messages. Treat each symptoms uniquely, means you need to treat uniquely the user, the system, the network behavior. You need to look after in a very broad way. You can say you need to open up your mind in a broader way, in a very broader way, to diagnose and troubleshoot the problems. If you don't have that broader mind setup, while some problem raise or some issue raise in the network, then you will not be able to properly diagnose and solve that problem. So you need to have your mind quite wide open to each and everything. Then identify the affected area, determine affected area and group, one user or workstation, whether the problem relates to one user or a particular computer, or maybe it is to a group of computer or people, or to a department, or to a location, or even an entire organization. So you need to identify the affected area, whether it is a single person or a complete department having the issue, or even the entire company is facing this issue. So you need to find out that thing. So again, considering a single user or computer, going to a group, a department, or maybe entire company. Next, narrow down time frame. When did the problem begin? So as I said earlier, asking the user that when this problem arise, whether all were okay before or not, or you are facing some minor issue. Has the network or server or workstation ever worked properly? Did the symptom appear in the last hour or day? Have the symptom appear intermittently for a long time? Do the symptoms appear only at certain times of the day, week, month, or year? And benefits of asking those things is eliminating some causes points to other. So you can say there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different questions. Anyone you can add your own while you think. So it means that you need to narrow down the point, the time frame, the problem, the issue. Take time to troubleshoot correctly. I will say never be in hurry, or you can say rush to solve problems. Never do that. Always take time. That's the key. So take time to troubleshoot correctly. Ask specific questions, identify problem scope, filter unrelated user information. Then discover time and frequency of problem and identify affected problem area. So again, I will say that whenever you are troubleshooting, you need to take the time to examine each and everything. In your mind, you are satisfied enough, confident enough that you have asked all the necessary questions or required questions. So I'm quite clear now with the problem or the issue. Or you can say I'm quite clear with the exact issue that is happening with the network. So do take your time. Never be like just if I would say a minute or two thing. It's a very dedicated, or you can say a patience thing. I would say a lot of patience if you have the patience. So a lot of patience is required if you want to become a very successful troubleshooting expert of the network or computer hardware. You need to have a big heart as well. So then things will become easier to you. Here we have a flow chart. That's called a flow chart. Are you there? Okay, so that's a flow chart. That is a graphical representation of these different steps. So it's a process, or you can say question area. Is the problem limited to the user or workstation? So there will be two type of output, whether a yes or maybe a no. So if a yes, so then you will move into the examine individual workstation for problems. Consider possible user error. So if that yes is not, means it is a no. Is the problem limited to one department or group? If yes, again you need to examine this, or if it is no, so then you need to move to this step. So you can say it's a flow chart of step-by-step procedure or method, and there are possible two things to a question, yes or no. So on the yes you move towards this area, and onto the no you come down one step below, and if you reach out there, again you will start from there and then you check. So that's a simple flow chart, or you can say a graphical representation of how you can follow these different steps. And again we have the remaining part. So have the device ever work properly? So if we have a no, so then you consider these things. And so if we have a yes, did the symptom appear in the last hour or day? So again each and every procedure is quite well defined using the flow chart mechanism. So again remember, this graphical symbols or things are called the flow chart.